Jack Grealish, let's talk about him. So you give him a little bit of praise there before we during the podcast a couple of minutes ago. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't think he had his best game for Everton last night. Obviously, he got the goal, and it was a little bit lucky. What I'll say about Grealish, and this is an absolute positive comment, by the way, I think he's not being his best from an attacking view over the past couple of weeks, but you cannot question his work rate and energy levels, certainly against United when obviously we didn't have much of the ball, and he played so well from a defensive aspect point of view. I thought he was fantastic. There's absolutely no questioning about that. But we know what Jack Grealish can do. We know what he can produce. And for me, this is just another occasion this season where Grealish has turned, well, he's got the winner and he's turned a draw into a win. So there's basically, obviously he scored the winner against Crystal Palace, was it? There's another 4 points that we've got, which is literally down to Jack Grealish. And okay, both of them are a little bit lucky, but you've got to get in those positions to score those goals. And for me, £12 million a year, albeit for 1 year on loan, it's starting to look like a bit of shrewd business, really.
It is, but it's like, where do we go in the summer with them? And that's the big thing. We, as Evertonians, we fall in love with loan players and then they can go and break your heart. And that's possibly what we could be seeing in the summer. Listen, that's got another conversation in the summer, but right now we're enjoying him. He's bringing another dimension to Everton. He's putting Everton on the back pages all of a sudden. He speaks well in front of the camera and he loves, you can actually see, and again, like, probably like King Dewsbury, very similar to him, that he's enjoying his football at the moment. And in the past couple of years, when you've seen Dewsbury at Leicester and at Chelsea, and you've seen Jack Grealish at Manchester City, you've not got a smile on the face. And because they're sitting on the bench and watching all these world-class players play in front of them, now they're at Everton, they're playing week in, week out, and they've got a smile on the face, and they're doing the damage when they got a ball between the feet. So it's pleasing to see. With Jack Grealish, yeah, I'm probably right what you're saying, Ian. The last couple of games, Newcastle, or Fulham particularly as well, that we've seen a different side to Jack Grealish's game. We've seen him backtrack and we've seen him helping his full-back out. We didn't see him offensively great on the ball. We've seen another side to his game, probably like we haven't seen Jack Grealish before. We've seen him obviously very influential at Aston Villa, playing that 10 role, where he wasn't asked to obviously track back as much there. And obviously at City, when he's got defensive world-class midfielders behind him, so Pep Guardiola is never going to ask him defensively to put a shift in. But offensively, that was a question for obviously Pep Guardiola to answer for. But for Everton, he's doing a bit of both. He's offensively good. He's tracking back. He's doing a lot. And again, another one with a smile on his face. That question will be asked in the summer, whether Everton financially can make that a permanent transfer. But for now, it's great to see with him smile on his face, doing some damage in an Everton shirt, because when he has got that ball at his feet, it automatically attracts 2 or 3 defenders straight away. So that frees up a centre midfielder. It will free up another player to get on the ball. So yeah, it's pleasing to see Jack Grealish at the moment bringing another string to his bow. And again, what he spoke about in the reaction interview on Sky, he mentioned again about David Moyes, how instrumental he was in him to sign up for Everton Football Club. Kept on speaking, David Moyes, he absolutely loves this manager, and long may that continue.
There was a lot of love around last night, wasn't there? Certainly with the comments, and I'll come on to them, I'll read them out. What Grealish said about Moyes, but Grealish also kissed the badge as well. Are you a big fan of that? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not.
Because the badge.
We've seen it so many times, haven't we? Wayne Rooney's kissed the badge, and next minute he was down East Lancs Road within 6 months. So listen, we probably know more than anyone, don't we, in terms of players that have kissed the badge, and next minute they've sailed on to pastures new straight away. But I think if he did kiss the badge, and he shows you what it means to him. I think sometimes it's an off-the-cuff celebration, that when you're in the moment and you've just scored a winner with 10 minutes to go and the Everton fans are all in front of you, then it's so easy to look at the badge and show your affection to it. So it's quite easily done. Whether he means it, we'll see in the summer when he's talking about wage demands.
I don't care if he does, to be honest. I'm just enjoying him now, and that's the main thing. I've got it in my head that it's going to be for one season, and that might be mutually beneficial for both parties, if we're being totally honest.
Would you break your heart, Ian, to see him in another club?
Not really, Tom. I'm old enough now at that point where I don't necessarily fall in love with with footballers like I did with maybe when I was younger, a Nick Barmby or a Gary Speed who ended up moving on to it, or a Duncan Ferguson, I guess. God, that was probably the worst one, wasn't it? So I say it, I'm a little bit more mature now and old enough. I'm happy the fact that we've got Grealish, undoubtedly. And if he stays, well, he's going to stay for the season. If he keeps performing and scoring goals like he does, then fantastic. But it'll just come down to money, won't it? If he stays for another season, it'll be his wages, which are extremely high. I don't know whether we can negotiate a price with City, because they were looking at like 40-50 million. Are you going to play that for a 30-year-old? I don't think Everton probably should. So if it ends at the end of the season and he's got us into top 10 Europe, which would be fantastic, then fantastic. So be it. Well, we'll see what happens. We are ninth, aren't we? Like I say, there was a bit of bromance. I mean, you've touched on it there, but in the Sky Sports interview after the game, he said this on David Moyes: "I love the manager to pieces. I can't speak highly enough of him as a person and how he makes me feel and how he makes me want to play for him, and credit to him." So I think, do you think he just not enjoyed his football over the past year or two before he came to Everton? I mean, he wasn't playing under Pep Guardiola, so I guess that's a fair assumption to make, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it probably is. I think what happened to him, where he played an instrumental part in City winning the treble, didn't he? He played a lot of games in that Champions League win, and obviously in that season as well when they won the domestic treble. And I think that to go from being an influential character and player in a team that's just won the treble to then being on the periphery and just sitting on the bench, I think it can be demoralising, and it doesn't matter how much money you've got in your bank. It can be demoralising to be in 1 minute you're high as anything, and the next minute you're on the floor. So mentally, that can be a huge blow to anyone. So you can see why all of a sudden he's come to Everton and he's idolised, he's loved. You've seen the scenes at the end. You've seen the scenes only walking around Merseyside, the amount of shirts. My lad's got one himself with Grealish number 18 on the back. Now, you wouldn't have thought that 18 months ago that young Everton fans would be walking around the streets of Merseyside with Jack Grealish shirts on. You'd never ever thought of it. And that's due to the fact that he's got his game back on track with Everton, and Everton are going in places as well. So it's like a bit of a marriage at the moment, isn't it? In terms of where the both of them are at. He's obviously looking to get his relationship back on track with football, and Everton are looking to get further up the table. So it's a match made in heaven at the moment, and long may that continue.